Hi, today we are going to discuss about basics of malnutrition and severe acute malnutrition. Let's see what is malnutrition. Malnutrition refers to deficiencies, excess or imbalance in a person's intake of energy and or nutrients. It can lead to serious health issues. WHO classifies malnutrition based on duration and based on severity. Based on duration, the malnutrition can be two types. It can be acute and chronic. In acute malnutrition, the weight is affected and it is known as wasting. In weight for height growth chart, we can see that the babies in acute malnutrition lies below -2 standard deviation. But in chronic malnutrition, the height is affected. It is also known as stunting. Here, in height for age growth chart, the babies lies under -2 standard deviation. Now, based on severity, the malnutrition can be moderate and severe malnutrition. In moderate malnutrition, in the weight for height growth chart, the babies lies under -2 to -3 standard deviation. But in severe malnutrition, the babies in the weight for height growth chart, they lies below -3 standard deviation. Now, what is severe acute malnutrition or SAM? Here, there is severe and acute malnutrition. What are the criteria for severe malnutrition? In severe malnutrition, we had seen that the babies in the weight for height growth chart lies below -3 standard deviation. Similarly, in SAM also, the babies lies below -3 standard deviation in the weight for height growth chart. And in severe malnutrition, there is presence of the bilateral pedal edema. And what is acute malnutrition? In acute malnutrition, we had seen that there is weight is affected and there is wasting, and the babies lies below -2 standard deviation in weight for height growth chart. So, in acute malnutrition, there is wasting, and we measured wasting in terms of medium circumference. If the medium circumference is below 11.5 centimeter, we said that there is presence of wasting. Now, see, the medium circumference can be measured after 6 months, and the medium circumference is applicable from 6 months to the 5 years to diagnose the severe acute malnutrition. If any one of the above 3 criteria is satisfied, the SAM is diagnosed. Means, if the baby lies below -3 standard deviation in weight for height growth chart, and there is the bilateral pedal edema is present, or if the wasting is present, means the medium circumference is below 11.5 centimeter. If any one of the 3 is present, we call that it is severe acute malnutrition. Now, management of the severe acute malnutrition can be done at home as well as in the hospital. Now, when the management of the SAM can be done at home, if the baby has good appetite, if there is no anasarca, and the complications of the severe acute malnutrition if absent, then the management of this SAM can be done at home. But if the appetite is poor, anasarca is present, and complication of the severe acute malnutrition is present, the baby should be managed at hospital. Now let's see what are the medical complications in severe acute malnutrition. It can be remembered by a mnemonic called SEAL-DEAD. S for sugars means hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia is seen in the severe acute malnutrition. There is hypothermia, infection, electrolyte imbalance. D stands for dehydration, and D stands for deficiencies of the micronutrients. Hypoglycemia, hypothermia, and infections. These are the three leading causes of neonatal mortality in SAM patients. Now, see about the treatment of the complications of the severe acute malnutrition. We had said that hypoglycemia, hypothermia, and the infections, these are the three leading causes of the neonatal mortality in the severe acute malnutrition patients. Now, hypoglycemia. When we would say that it is hypoglycemia, if the blood sugar level. Now, let's see about the treatment of the hypoglycemia. In asymptomatic patients, those who can take food orally, we should give oral fluid at 50 ml of the 10% dextrose, or we should give breastfeed to those patients. In case of the symptomatic patients, those who cannot take food orally, we should give IV fluids 5 ml per kg of the body weight. We should give them 10% dextrose. Now, what is hypothermia? If the rectal temperature is below 35.5 degrees centigrade, it is called as hypothermia. Now, how we should prevent hypothermia? We will discuss it later in a later video. About infections. To prevent infection, we should give antibiotics. What are the empirical antibiotics we should give? These are the penicillins and the aminoglycosides, such as gentamicin we should give, and in penicillin group we should give ampicillin. If there is meningitis or septic shock, or if the patient is not responding to the empirical antibiotic, we should give third generation cephalosporin and aminoglycoside. Because the third generation cephalosporins have good penetration rate in the brain, to prevent meningitis, we should give third generation cephalosporin. The penicillin group of drug, they cannot penetrate the CNS very well. Now let's see about electrolyte imbalance. These childs of SAM, they are prone to develop hypokalemia and the hypomagnesemia. They show falsely lowered sodium level due to edema, but the sodium stores in these babies are really high, so we should restrict the sodium in the diet of the SAM patients. There is the another complication, the dehydration. To prevent dehydration, we should give ORS or Resomol in those patients who can take fluid orally. We should give IV fluids, Ringal lactate plus 5% dextrose in those patients who can't take food orally. Or in case of the unconscious patient, we should give IV fluids, Ringal lactate and 5% dextrose through the IV lines. What are the deficiencies or the micronutrient deficiencies seen in the SAM patients? The children with SAM requires the micronutrients twice the amount of the recommended dietary allowance, except the vitamin A. If we give vitamin A in twice the amount of the recommended dietary allowance, it can lead to toxicity. So, the vitamin A should be given in 0, 1 and the 14 days. What are the age and what is the dose of the vitamin A we should give? In below 6 months of the age patients, we should give the 50,000 international unit of the vitamin A. In 6 to 11 month patient, we should give 1 lakh international unit, and in case of the greater than 12 month of the patient, we should give 2 lakh international unit of the vitamin A. Now, how you will give feeding in SAM patients? We should start with low calories and then gradually increase the calories. In case of the calories, we should give at first 80 kilocalorie per kg per day. Then we should gradually increase 10 to 20 kilocalorie per kg per day, and we can maximum calories we can give to a SAM patient is 150 to 200 kilocalorie per kg per day. What about the proteins? We should start with 0.8 to 1 gram per kg per day, and maximum 4 to 6 gram per kg per day we can give in SAM patients. Now let's see about refeeding syndrome. It's a very important syndrome seen in the SAM patients. When it develops in SAM patients, we start with low calories diet and gradually we go towards high calories diet. But if we start with high calories diet, it will lead to complications. It will lead to actually edema in this patient. It is known as the refeeding syndrome. What happens if we give high calories at first? It will lead to increased insulin secretion, and this insulin shifts the ions into the cells from the blood. That will lead to hypokalemia, hypophosphatemia and the hypomagnesemia, and it will lead to increased edema. What is the hallmark of the SAM? In the laboratory findings, we see that there is hypophosphatemia, and in clinical hallmark, what is clinical hallmark? That there is increased edema is seen. So